back to it. What we got going on here? Probably hop into some dungeons. Continue the leveling grind here. Oh, I do need to do a stronghold actually. Yeah, let's attempt to do a stronghold. This is probably gonna go poorly, but I do need to get a stronghold done for the season. And this is the closest one. So let's give it the old college try. I just don't really have great gear or anything. Gear's kind of whatever at this level, to be fair, because you're just leveling up, like, often enough that you're replacing your gear pretty frequently, and just based on pretty basic things. But, when you're doing stuff that's still a few levels higher than you, and by yourself no less, it definitely still matters what gear you have. We'll see how this goes, though. I'm more so concerned about the boss, though I can't... Oh, okay, the boss is in this little arena at the end. Yeah, this guy. Okay. We'll see how it goes. Oh, should make sure to... Oh, fuck, I don't have any elixirs. Okay. Hold this thought. Let's get an elixir first, so I'm not wasting XP. Alright, we'll make a couple elixirs. I actually have to make some more elixirs for a different seasonal challenge anyway. So it kind of works out. So I'll make a couple of those. I think this is a seasonal challenge too, but I'm 10 levels off of that. We'll just go to whatever is the most basic one. We'll do this one. We'll make 2 of them for now. Not trying to blow on my mats, because they're pretty important this early. Alright. Here we go. I think the guys up here might be cold enchanted. So that might be a bit annoying. Yeah, they are. That's all good. If I kill them fast enough, it's whatever. Nope. Still annoying. Oh, he's not dead. Okay, well that makes sense. I was gonna say, why am I still getting frozen? I thought my poison was enough to finish him, but he had the smallest little bit of health left. Alright, so that's a 1. Cross here.
I'm not ready.
Take these guys out real quick. Oh, I love getting frozen. Who froze me this time? I guess this guy did. Oh no, these fucking things on the ground. Fair enough, fair enough. And that's the way that we come out, it looks like. I mean, this was the first stronghold that I did originally in the game, so it's not as fresh in the brain. But that's okay. Oh, this is bad. This is bad. There we go. We're alright, we're alright. Go ahead and break the little shortcut here. Yeah, I'm a bit worried about the boss, I'm not gonna lie. I don't really know if I'm gonna be able to kill him. Hey, what's up, Ace? Hey, man, how you been? Miss your Borderlands vids? I've been alright, yeah. Long time back. Borderlands videos, though. Those are the days, man. I miss me a good Borderlands game. I appreciate you stopping by. How you doing? And I assume you're referring to Borderlands 2? I did videos for a couple Borderlands games. Though Borderlands 2 more than any of them for sure, so... I assume that is, plus Borderlands 2 is kind of like, I feel like it's the one that people like the most, or the most people like the most. So I assume that's the one that you, are referring to. But, I did some stuff for pre-sequel, for instance, as well, and then I maybe did some stuff for Borderlands 1? Maybe like the remastered version or whatever? Yeah, it's been a minute. Those were the best, and yeah, that mainly, you did Skyrim 2, right? I thought I remember that, and I watched all your Fallout videos. I don't think I made any videos directly for, like, Skyrim stuff, like glitches and stuff like that. I probably did some videos covering, like, news and maybe some updates for Skyrim stuff. Upon the 5th, 6th, 7th, whatever time it was released. But... no, I don't think I ever did, like, straight, like, Skyrim modding videos or glitch videos or anything like that. Not that I can recall. I know I thought about it many times, but, I don't recall ever doing them. But yeah, I probably did some news videos or update videos and stuff like that about it at the very least, but those probably didn't get a whole lot of views. They likely weren't very cared about, to be fair. So, understandable. People were all into the glitches and the tricks and the tips and the guides and the mods and all that goody stuff. But Fallout, definitely. Yeah, I did a ton of Fallout stuff for 4 and 76. I never played 76. That's fair, that's fair. It just never... it never interested you, or, it was just kind of like... it just sort of happened naturally, you just didn't really end up picking it up or whatever? I mean, I guess if you're like a big Fallout fan, then you probably like consciously chose not to get it and bother. But if not, or if you just had a bunch of other stuff that were really distracting you, like gaming-wise at the time or life-wise, then... maybe that kept you from it. But either way, I mean, I guess depending on your tolerance level and how much you're into glitches and all that kind of stuff would decide whether or not you would have had a fun time on it or not. How you liking Diablo? I'm having a good time with it, man. I'm having a pretty good time with it. I've been playing it since it came out at the start of last month, and the new season just dropped, so yeah, I'm having a pretty good time. Slay the remaining Ice Clan. What, I have, what, one more guy to kill or something? I just heard it wasn't that good, so I never gave it the time of day. I love Fallout, to be honest. If I had a squad, I'd go on. No, yeah, I feel that. I feel that. That's fair. Yeah, it definitely caught a lot of flack, and fairly so. Understandably so. Yep. See if I can take this guy out. It looks like I should be able to. I think he has other, like, phases or mechanics or something, though, so I don't know if that's going to be a pain in the ass. Poison is going to be my lifesaver here, though. I guess I was a little too worried for no reason. This isn't too bad. But then again, if it wasn't for the poison stuff I had right now, then it would be a bitch, for sure. Poison is definitely doing me a whole lot of favors right now. I was super addicted to Insurgents for a few years. Oh, Insurgency. I don't know why I have this emote thing on the side of my chat that gets in the way of the very ending of messages. Oh, here we go. If I do a pop out chat, I can see everything. Insurgency, gotcha. Did you see Actman's video on Diablo 4? That's actually why I didn't buy a super expensive, and then I got scammed on an Nvidia code, so it killed my kind of killed my vibe. I still may get it. No, I did not see the video. Was it a video like immediately following release, like a review video or something? And that sucks about the code, though. That does suck about the code. That's bogus. What's up, stupid? Has the update... What's up, stupid? Maybe I'll go with calling you Monkey instead. Has the update came out already? The update for Diablo? If so, then I guess it depends on what update you're referring to. Season 1 started, and the big update that came along Season 1 is out as well. It came out on the 18th, and then Season 1 started on the 20th. They said there was a patch. There was a hotfix that came out yesterday that made higher tier nightmare dungeons easier. And then next Friday they're going to be doing, or I guess I should say this coming Friday, they're going to do another campfire chat, a developer stream. And in that, they're going to be talking about specific changes coming to things like the Source, the Barbarian, and other aspects of the game to kind of combat against a lot of the complaints that people had from this most recent update. And that update they're talking about more this coming Friday will be coming in a couple days after that. So another update of somewhat decent size, it sounds like, should be coming in the next week and a half. They said there was a patch to revert it. They're not reverting everything, and I'm not even sure I don't recall them saying that they're going to revert a whole bunch to begin with. They just said that they're going to, you know, they're going to make some changes. I know they specifically said to the Source, to the Barbarian, because they're kind of falling short right now. And I know that they're going to make some other changes as well, but they're not reverting the whole patch. No, they're not reverting the whole change of, you know, stuff to crit, the stuff to vulnerable. They're not just completely backstepping and rolling all of that back. That's not happening. They did, however, say in the future that they're not going to ever do another patch like that where they just absolutely smoke everything. So that's good. And Ace, I see you said Nah just came out. Actually, okay, yeah. So he was probably referring to the thing that everybody was complaining about in recent days, which is the new update. And that basically had most everybody up in arms because the update, I mean, everybody knew the update was coming, but what everybody didn't know was that the update was going to nerf friggin' everything. Like, it nerfed some of, if not the most important stats in the game very heavily, making it much more difficult for every class. And then they also did nerfs individually to every single class. So there was a lot of people understandably very, very upset. So yeah, I'm not surprised that there was a video about that. Many people I know did videos about it because, yeah, it was just, you know, talk of the town. It was just a very big deal and a very big issue and kind of a big fuck up that even the developers realized. and admitted to yesterday when they did a impromptu developer stream. I see that's a good explanation from you. It hasn't completely fixed. They did, but will change. Yeah. They're not completely going back on everything they did, but they do admit that they messed up, and they'll never do another update like that again. And they are going to, in the near future, more on the quicker side. Like I said, there should be an update coming in like a week and a half. More on the quicker side, they are trying to jump on making some changes to the classes and to the things that are most negatively affected right now, and you know, even as they admitted, not fun. So they know, for instance, Source is just very chalked at the moment because of the nerfs that they made to the game for every class, and then also for Source in particular. So they are making some changes to the Source. They're also making some changes to the Barbarian to hopefully make it so they are actually worth playing, that they're actually fun. And so we don't just have, you know, a big amount of time in Season 1 where nobody is playing them, or they play them and then get towards the end game and they start to regret playing them. He may like it more than actually, because a big complaint he said was that it was way too easy for most of the game, but he also said he didn't play past level 40 or 50. I feel like if you don't play past level 40 or 50, like, you get a little taste for the game, but I feel like honestly, the majority of what the game has to offer and what the game is truly about, like for an ARPG, I feel like you can't really fully and fairly provide like a solid, accurate opinion on. Like, I know I'm throwing a whole lot of words out there, but I guess my bottom line is, if you're only getting to level 40 or 50, there's clearly a lot of stuff in the game you haven't done, and there's a lot of aspects of the game which are very important to the game that you either didn't experience at all, or you experienced very minimally. So, you know, you can definitely make some bit of an informed opinion and review based on just playing up to level 40 to 50, but I do feel like you're missing a lot only being at that level, because I know for a fact that there's a lot of content you just won't be doing or physically can't be doing at that level. And so obviously, if that's the case, how can you provide an opinion on that content if you haven't even experienced it, or if you've only experienced it very, like I said, minimally? But I mean, if the base of what the game has to offer up to that point, and that, to be fair, will have repetition to some of the later stuff, if you just aren't interested in that at all, if it's not fun to you whatsoever, then I can sort of understand not wanting to go any further. If everything you've done up to level 40 or 50, obviously I assume you did the story, which is its own thing. If you did the story, and then you did some dungeons, side quests, you know, starting to work towards a build, getting to level 50, which is where you're done getting skill points, and you're starting to get into Paragon, which actually he wouldn't have even touched because that's after level 50. But if up to that point you're not having fun and you don't like how the game is playing and stuff like that, then yeah, I guess it makes sense that you would not want to continue. But I mean, to get to only level 40 or 50, and to say the game is too easy, or, you know, to do an opinion from a perspective of as if you have enough information and playtime and everything to be able to say that, you know, it's XYZ, doesn't seem like very accurate to me. I mean, because the game is obviously going to be only so difficult up to level 40 or 50. After that, you unlock multiple more world tiers that very heavily increase difficulty, and then you also have nightmare dungeons, which increase the difficulty of the game further in their own way and in their own right. But you can't experience any of that if you only play to level 40 or 50. What's up, Kranix? Yo, how was Remnant Tour? Did it not even work on the PC? It worked on my PC. Like, the FPS was not great, unfortunately, because I have a very old graphics card. So when I am able to comfortably get a new graphics card, I definitely will, because it will help for playing games, it will help for making videos, it will help for streaming. And so when I'm doing any of those things, I'm not forced to do them at the bare minimum. But I did play the game still, despite the FPS not being great for my end personally because of that, and I still had a great time. Was getting a bit of a headache because of the fact that the FPS was kind of shooting all over and at low ranges, but I still think the game is great. The game is like very fun. I feel more invested in the story. I feel like there's more direction with the game in the story, and I feel like part of that, to be fair, is probably because it is a sequel. But the gameplay is great. There's more options, cooler bosses so far. Not to take a knock at the bosses from the previous game. Some really cool mechanics to bosses and stuff. Yeah, I would say it's overall feeling like a complete upgrade to the first game so far. What's up, Trigger? Guy probably hasn't even played World Tier 4 and he's calling it easy. Yeah, I mean, if you're only getting to level 40 or 50, you can only judge the game so much in terms of difficulty. Like, it's just facts. Like, that's not opinion. Like, it is straight facts. If you're only getting to level 40 or 50, you physically are not getting access to World Tier 4. You're not getting access to Nightmare Dungeons because it's physically not possible yet, unless, for instance, you got boosted through the capstones, and then obviously you're going to get obliterated in World Tier 4 because you're only level 40 or 50. But if that was the case, you wouldn't be complaining about difficulty. So yeah, it seems kind of weird to complain or to have it be a negative thing about the game feeling too easy, but then not stick around with the game long enough to actually get to what is supposed to be difficult. I'm full on my inventory. Yes, I am. Alright, we're gonna have to hit town. We're gonna have to hit town, sell some stuff, break some stuff down, all that goody good. Yeah, I'll give it a chance, and it looks fun, but I'm kind of split because I love PoE, but hated I can't even talk. Diablo Remastered for some reason, but graphically this one looks amazing. Yeah, I mean, this is a full-on brand new game. It's not a remaster, obviously. I can definitely see where you're coming from. PoE compared to Diablo is like, it's quite a bit more complex, and you probably know that. A lot of people talk about that, especially when it comes to comparing the two. But it is still obviously in the same genre. And so if you're somebody who enjoys PoE, as long as it's not mainly or solely for the complexity of the game, then I would think most of those people would also be able to enjoy Diablo 4. So, you know, obviously don't just do it based on what I'm saying, you know, do further research, watching gameplay, whatever, looking into stuff, and if you end up wanting to pick it up, check it out, then awesome. I hope that you enjoy it. I need to, I guess I'll worry about my skill point after. Rip the graphics card, but hell yeah, that's good, that it's fun. I wonder if they brought back the roguelike mode from the DLC, because that did seem hella fun. I mean, I've only played the game so much. Obviously, I'm not even through the campaign yet, so I can't personally speak to if they did. But if they didn't with the base game, I will not be surprised if they do bring it back. Honestly, just as like, maybe some kind of a free update if they can incorporate it into the content the game already offers, or if not, then I could very well see them doing it for the DLC or a DLC down the road, because I do think it was like a pretty big hit with the DLC for the previous game. Let's see here. Damage reduction, cooldown, imbuement skill damage. We could maybe keep this. No, actually probably not. No. Trap skill, cooldown, imbuement skill. We can toss this on just because it's higher armor. This will keep off. Most of this stuff really isn't an upgrade, unfortunately. We can throw on the I guess we can put this on. This is whatever. And I guess we'll just keep jumping our DPS with the swords that we get and everything. Because I mean that's where our main stat on the item is going to matter the most, is with our weapons for DPS. Everything else though we can go ahead and get rid of, I think. I keep getting the absolute worst aspects, fixes or whatever on the legendaries I get as well. I don't know if that's because of the tier I'm in, because I'm still in just World Tier 2, but yeah. Not great. It's not great. Yo, what's up, Boost? Yo, I remember I followed you for Fallout 4 glitches. It's been a while. Absolutely, it's been a while. Yep, I definitely did plenty of those, and I had a great time doing them. I'm glad that you ended up finding my channel back then. I hope that you enjoyed the videos and got some use out of them. But good times. Definitely has been a minute. I appreciate you stopping by. Hope that you're doing well. Yeah, Ace, hated PoE, never cared for previous Diablo games. To be honest, 4 is definitely pretty fun. Endgame is just repetitive as all, but that's a common theme for games like these. Yeah, I feel like it's near impossible for games like these not to have some kind of a repetitive endgame. It's just impossible, right? Like, to have a game like this have some kind of consistent, ever-changing, and unique endgame is just like near impossible. I guess it's not completely the same in this game, because you are focusing like nightmare dungeons, for instance, and there's a whole bunch of different nightmare dungeons with a whole bunch of different modifiers to them, some positive, some negative. So there is some, you know, difference and uniqueness technically in those ways. But at the end of the day, you're still just hammering nightmare dungeons over and over and over again. The open world Helltide stuff is cool, and they did make that a bit harder and potentially a bit more rewarding. So that's something as well to do on the side. But yeah, I mean, ultimately you're mainly doing nightmare dungeons, right? I do know that they did mention in the stream they did yesterday, the developer stream, that they do have more like different end game content that they're working on and that they're working towards the game offering. So that's pretty interesting. I'm curious to see what exactly that all entails, but it will probably be a bit before we actually get to see that. It would be cool if we get kind of what we had in like some shooter games. I know, completely different genre or whatever, but being able to like farm bosses from the campaign, for instance, that would be really cool. Sort of like when I think of something like that, I think of Borderlands 2, if any of you guys played that. Where you'd go and certain bosses would be the only enemies in the game, or with a much higher drop rate for a certain item or for certain items in the game. And so if you wanted said item, you would go and farm that boss over and over and over again, and on higher difficulties and stuff like that. It'd be cool to have that kind of a thing in the game. Maybe certain bosses having a better chance to drop like a certain unique item in the game. Or maybe even having a bit of a better chance to drop like a specific uber unique. Stuff like that. What's up, Scar? I used to go hard on ESO for 8 years, and that's exactly why I need a new PvE MMO. I'm getting this on Friday when the paycheck hits. I've been going crazy not owning it. Nice, nice, nice. Yeah, I definitely feel you on that. I was waiting a good while for not only this game specifically, but just a game like this, because it had been a very long time before I had another game like this that I was really into. I'm a big Diablo fan, and I'm a big fan of this kind of game. So, yeah, I definitely know how you feel. And, yeah, that's awesome that you're going to be able to pick it up. I hope that you enjoy it. And I think that was the first thing you said in here as well, Scar, so I appreciate you stopping by the way. Hope that you're having a good day. Definitely fresh running random dungeons rather than the same one over and over. Yeah, yeah. And I'm glad that they made the change where you can just, after you pop your, whatever it's called, I forget. I haven't used one in days because of the new season and everything, but you know what I'm talking about. What you pop, the sigils. to actually start your Nightmare Dungeon. I'm glad they made the change to where you can just straight teleport to it, because having to run manually to each one was just not, it just didn't flow well. It was not fun. So that was definitely a huge change that they made, and that was a big improvement. It might not seem like much to some people, because maybe some people didn't mind it, but when you're sitting there playing for hours and you're hammering Nightmare Dungeon after Nightmare Dungeon, and especially if it's not the same one, so that you can just exit and then pop another sigil for the same one and go right back in, it was kind of like annoying for sure. So that was that's what we would call a big W quality of life change that they made, and I'm sure there's some more of those to come. Also, of course, the fact that they did a huge increase to like XP that you get from Nightmare Dungeons. This was like weeks back that they made this change, by the way. This isn't the one in the recent days, but where they provided way more XP from Nightmare Dungeons, so people aren't just instead spamming open world dungeons with no modifiers to get better XP rates, which obviously that's not how it should be. Nightmare Dungeons, being the obvious and coordinated endgame content, should provide the best XP. So they buffed up the XP rates a ton, which was great, and then also some drop rate stuff too, or just having it be more likely for Ancestrals and Sacreds to drop in Nightmares, which also, that's obviously how it should be. It's your main form of endgame content, so that's where your attention should be directed for, you know, endgame. I might die. There we go. Yeah, my friends and I were so stoked about teleporting after popping the sigil. We hated running to the dungeons every time. Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, huge W of a quality of life update. You love to see it. You love to see it. A Witcher MMO would be pretty cool. Yeah, I personally, I still need to play through Witcher 3. I have it, right? Don't crucify me. I have it, and I've had it for a long time. I've just never, it's just been in the backlog, right? I think I picked it up when it was on a really good sale before, like way back. And it was kind of like, I know the game's really good, and I know that when I do sit down and actually play it, I will enjoy it. There was a really, really good deal, the best I ever saw probably, for the whole game and all the DLC. And so it was just one of those scenarios where, like, okay, like, I know I'm going to play this game one day, so let me just pick it up when it's on a really good deal right now, like a really good sale. So that way, if I do ever get the itch at a random time down the road to play it, I won't be needing to pay like a higher price for it or whatever. But I do know of the Witcher, you know, series and the universe and all that stuff, and I do know, obviously, Witcher 3 won Game of the Year and everything, so I'm very aware of its success and all of that kind of stuff. So I think a Witcher MMO can be really cool. I'm familiar with a lot of stuff from the game and how it operates, so while I haven't played it, I think I'm able to say that, at the very least, I think that from what I know, it could offer a pretty cool MMO if it was expansive enough and had enough, you know, things within it. Quests, NPCs, items, areas, all that stuff, mechanics, to warrant such a thing. At the same time, though, I think it may be a scenario like with Fallout, where it has a big chance of busting, and a lot of people, maybe more than not, would prefer they just stick with single player. And there's honestly probably companies who are behind big games like Witcher, for instance, and that see what happened with Fallout 76, even though it has bounced back a good amount since, I'll give it that. But they probably look at a situation like that and they're like, okay, we have Witcher, and we could try to go an MMO route like, you know, Elder Scrolls did with ESO, Fallout did with 76. We could do that, or we could stick with what has worked, what we know best, etc., etc., and especially if that's what they enjoy the most, and just continue to run with single player, which I think is fair. I kind of think single player games are popping more in the past couple years than they had in previous as well. Story is fantastic, but the gameplay is outdated. Yeah, I think that's fair to assume, and I probably would assume anyway, just because it's been a good while. I guess I would sort of naturally expect that they would bring that up to date, that they'd bring that up to par with current times. I mean, you kind of have to, right? Oh crap, I might die. I might die. I'm getting CC'd really bad. There we go. They can test a multiplayer mode for Witcher 4 and see how people reach it. They could. Is there any, like I said, I haven't even played Witcher 3, so I don't personally keep up with a bunch of Witcher news or anything. Is there any news as to, are they working on a new Witcher? I'm sure that they will do one, even if they aren't. It's just one of those no-brainers. It's like Bethesda being guaranteed to do another Fallout. But is there any, like, confirmed news about them? I'm dead. Fuck. About them working on, currently working on a new Witcher game, or if it's going to be single player or anything like that? I don't really even know what those guys have in the pipeline prior. Oh god. Yeah, they teased the Link's amulet, but that was a while ago. Okay. So there's no official confirmation, but it is probably fair to say it's one of those, you know, series and games where it performed so well that they would be stupid not to do another one, and so surely they will. I mean, Witcher 3 was Game of the Year. It was a huge hit. I do obviously remember that, so yeah, I think it's fair to say they're going to do another one, even if it's not officially confirmed. It seems like one of those things, like I said, with Bethesda and Fallout, where even before Fallout 5 was confirmed by Bethesda to, yes, that is in the pipeline down the road, it's one of those games that everybody knows in the back of their head that, okay, it's Fallout. It's one of their main franchises. It's done incredibly well every time for their main games, and even 76, I guess. So, yeah, they're obviously going to keep doing it. And they'd be silly not to. I mean, because it's free money, right? I might die by CC again. Yep. Oh my god, that's so annoying. So much CC. Do I have to do this all over? Oh my god, I do. I'm gonna have to play this like a weenie. It's the cold enchanted stuff. Oh god. There we go. Sheesh. What year would you think ES6 comes out than Fallout 5? ES6, I think Todd Howard did an interview recently talking mainly about Starfield, obviously, comes out very soon. But in that interview, he was talking about, you know, what's in the pipeline after that, and also what he would like to have be the case for, you know, the end of his career coming up, and him obviously being the game director for Starfield, him being the game director for Elder Scrolls 6, and I think he was saying that he might very well be done after being the game director for Elder Scrolls 6, because he had mentioned alongside that even that game is still like 4 or 5 years out. Don't quote me on that, but I think he said something along those lines. And so basically he was alluding to saying that or really straight up saying that while he would like to be the game director for Fallout 5, the next Fallout game that obviously will not come out until after the new Elder Scrolls, it might just be a little too far down the line for him to realistically be doing that. So while he is, of course, the game director, he's the lead for Starfield, and he's going to be the lead for Elder Scrolls, that may be his last game that he's leading for Bethesda. He does want to do Fallout 5, he does want to be the lead for it, and Bethesda's going to make the game regardless, of course. But because of the fact that Elder Scrolls 6 is still like 4 or 5 years down the road, it's, I mean, that's a good amount of time between then and Fallout 5. If we're not getting Elder Scrolls 6 for another 4 to 5 years, then you can, I think it's fair to say, it's probably going to be like another 4 to 5 years at least for Fallout 5 after that. Unless for some reason they start working on it much sooner. And if they did that, then they would probably need to incorporate the help of another company. Like if they decided to bring Obsidian on and have them help. So yeah, I would say probably based on that, and especially if that is exactly what he said, then for Elder Scrolls 6 we're looking at what? We're looking at like 2027, 2028, something like that. For Fallout 5, if it's stuck to the same kind of time frame, we're looking at like closer to like mid 2030s. Some nutty shit like that. Ugh. It's gonna be a long time. Not to say there couldn't be another Fallout game that gets done in between, maybe by Obsidian, for instance. That would be awesome. Or some remasters at least, because down the road people will be wanting remasters all the more. But yeah, for the whole new game in the main series, it's gonna be a long time. Since Microsoft owns Obsidian, you think they'll have them work on Fallout 5? I don't think it comes down to like Microsoft. I don't think Microsoft is ever going to just be like, you know, just hand the reins over to Obsidian. I think that is still in Bethesda's hands. And Todd was actually asked about that in the interview as well, if he'd ever hand off Fallout to be worked on again by another company, such as Obsidian or whatever. I think that he said, again, don't quote me, I think he said something along the lines of they would like to keep it in-house or as much so as possible. So, you know, in my assumption that they could keep their vision as clear and as concise and everything with that next main series game or Fallout games in general as they possibly can. Obviously, if they pass the reins off any bit to another company, then it's going to end up not being just what they're envisioning. There's going to be other people in another company or another branch or whatever who have a involvement in the creation of the game. So it definitely seems like they want to keep it in their hands mainly. I can't remember if he said that they would be open to the idea of having another company work with them again on Fallout, but I do know that they were leaning towards wanting to keep it in their hands. We'll see, though. I think it's still a possibility. Or, like I said, maybe they would just allow them to do a completely separate game. See if I have any upgrades here real quick. Ooh. Intuitive Flurry. I lose my attack speed. I'll take the flurry damage though. Imbuement skills, agility skills, no. Definitely will take this ring though. Damage to close enemies, barrier duration, damage to close enemies. We can swap it out with this one, I think. Critical strike chance, attack speed. Only if this had flurry on it, that would be really nice. Shadow imbuement, which we're not using yet. Imbuement skills, movement speed, cooldown reduction. That's kind of tempting, to be honest. I lose my energy cost reduction, which sucks. But I do get +1 to imbuement skills, and I do get movement speed and a little bit of cooldown reduction. I think I'll make that swap. Hopefully I don't regret that. One second, let me just send a text. Alright. Let me go ahead and break all the rest of this stuff down. So I don't really care about any of that. None of the rest of it was upgrades in my opinion. But for any of you guys that are still here, whether you've talked already or not, I do appreciate you all stopping by. I hope you're all having a great day so far. Doing some gaming maybe. See what we got here. We have two purple slots and a red. So this we can just drop, and then I don't like this one. I don't like the knockback on this one. It's annoying for this class in particular, or this build in particular, because when I go up and I do my basic skill of puncturing them, and that I want to follow up with my flurry, if I have this on, there's a chance that it knocks the enemies back, and so I can't immediately follow up with flurry. It obviously knocks them out of my close proximity, so I then have to run up to them. It just slows the whole flow of the build down. So I'm never going to use this, I don't think, unless for some reason it ends up being super busted somehow for this build endgame, because knockback can obviously be helpful, but for now I'm gonna go ahead and say a big no. And then we will scrap the rest. There we go. And my guy decided to take a seat, I guess. So that's cute. Alright, so as we were, I don't remember if this is a malignant one. I don't think, yeah, it's not. Okay. So just a standard dungeon, but it is one that we needed to get done anyway, and we are just kind of racking up the XP. Go ahead and pop another elixir so we're not throwing XP out the window. No XP waste out here anymore, hopefully. And I do have to remember to drop my skill point after this as well. I have to figure out where I'm going to do that. Just sort of tanking him, which is fine. Whatever gets the fight over quickest. If I can stay here and stand in his AoE pools or whatever and just tank the damage, then we will do that. There we go. Alright, so this dungeon is taken care of. I guess it was a little further along than I thought. And this is a dungeon I've already done for like the aspect rewards, so I don't need to do that again. So we will go to, I guess, this one, because this is done. And all the other ones I'm seeing in this region are also done. I think this might be the last one. Oh no, I have two more. It says 21 out of 23. Oh, you know what it is? I think after I complete this stronghold, I think it maybe opens up a dungeon somewhere here, and then I can do that one. Unless I'm just blind and I'm not seeing another one. But I don't think that's the case. So, okay. So I will go knock this one out, and then maybe attempt to do the stronghold to get the last one. That seems like a Oh, or I can go right back in my town portal. That's, yeah, that's great too. That works. It's exactly what we wanted to do, right? Alright. Off we go. Oh, I have to drop my skill point too. You guys are slacking. You're supposed to remind me about my skill point. Let's see here. I had a couple different things I was looking at in regards to what I should maybe drop this point into. Let's see. I have haste already, which is good. And oh, I'm at the point of my key passive. Okay, so cutthroat skills grant a stack of momentum for 8 seconds if they either hit a stun, daze, or frozen enemy, hit an enemy from behind. 3 stacks of momentum, you gain 20% increased damage reduction, 30% increased energy reduction, 15% increased movement speed. Interesting. Okay. Interesting. Alright, so I guess that's where we're dropping it. We're getting our key passive, which makes sense. And then we come up to this dungeon. We'll go ahead and knock this out. Alright. See what we got going on in here. It'll be nice when I can actually start working towards getting stuff that I care about for the actual build, being able to focus a little bit more on actual like attributes and stuff on the items. Right now it's kind of whatever because I'm only level 36 and I'm not even through all my skill points, obviously, up to level 50. It'll be nice when we get up there, and then we can sort of shift our focus over to actually trying to get some good in-slot gear and everything. Oh god, what is hitting me so hard? Is this guy's fire arrows or whatever smoking me that bad? Looking for the other watchman. And he is in there. So we will come down this way, and then we will just double back and get him after that. Although this probably just loops around, to be honest. But that's even better. Makes it more efficient. Level up, nice, nice. I didn't realize I was close. Probably start bumping up my poison skills a little bit more. Now that I have my my key passive and I've gotten to the end of the tree. And good. Oh god. There we go. Alright. On we go. Hopefully nothing CCing me in here, like last dungeon, because that was a great time. Oh boy. Ah, we're good. We're good. Alright, cool. Slowly but surely making our way through here. Oh god. Wasn't expecting a lead to be in here, but we'll take it. will this be cursed? Yep, it is indeed. I feel like it's been a minute since I've gotten a cursed Replacement, honestly. Surprisingly, it seems like most of them that I've been getting in dungeons recently have just been normal, just they open up. Wonder if there's any sort of correlation between how often they're cursed and what world tier you're on, or like if you're in nightmare dungeons. Wouldn't be surprised, but I don't recall seeing such a thing exist. Go. What's up, BT? Just dropping in to say hi. Have a good stream, homie. I appreciate it, man. Thank you very much. I hope you're having a great day, buddy. The fucking man ET. Love that guy. Is this a, I was gonna say, I didn't know if this was a multi-boss thing. But nope. Oh yeah, and then she has like the pack fly at me, I think. Yep. Which is all good, because they don't hit too hard right now. There we go. Nice. Nice. Alright, so that is done, and my inventory is looking pretty full. So I think, yeah, I'm still pretty confident that that last dungeon is locked behind this stronghold. So we will go to Kyovashad and clear my inventory first and foremost. And while I'm in the loading screen, let me see where I'm dropping my next point. I know I'm going to continue to do some poison stuff. I gotta buff the poison stuff a little bit more. Let's see here. I think, what do I have poison and beam in that already? 3? Yeah, so I think I want to continue to buff this up because it's kind of like my main thing. So I'll probably, I have that at 4 out of 5 without the item contribution, so I'll drop 1 more point to that afterwards once I level up again. And then after that I'll probably drop into some passives and some defensive stuff. Yeah, like this, to go along with a poison trap, for instance. Maybe trick. Stutter step, I think, is another possibility. And then this is kind of another obvious potential to go to as well, close damage reduction. That's where I'm always doing my damage, is in close proximity. And I'm using Shadow Step to like fly into fights and everything. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see though. Okay, let's go through all the items real quick, see if we have anything worth swapping out. Plus 24 more armor. We do lose our... Oh, no, we don't. We get better close damage reduction and some dodge chance, so that is an easy choice. This is plus 9 armor, which is whatever, but we do get damage reduction from distant enemies, so that's a definite throw on. We're going to want to stick to crossbows because you get the vulnerable damage on any crossbow versus with a bow you get damage to distant enemies. That doesn't do anything for us as a rogue. Plus 29 to armor, max life, and damage reduction from close enemies. We'll definitely swap to that. Plus 5 armor. We lose movement speed, so I'm going to not do that. Hate feeling slow and sluggish, especially on a rogue where you're obviously trying to focus on having a good amount of speed. Core skill damage, basic skill damage. I lose my damage to close enemies, so no. Distant damage reduction, dodge chance control impaired for only plus 11 more armor. No, I'm going to keep my 6% close damage reduction. And rank 1 to flurry, but I get some attack speed and I get some lucky hit chance. So I lose 1 on my flurry. I mean, I lose 12 armor as well. And that's a tough one. Might stick with what I got. Actually, no, in the grand scheme of things, it's not gonna matter. It's not gonna matter. I don't want to overthink it. Alright, so we'll go drop these gems in my stash, and then we will go and do the stronghold that is like top left of this region, and we will confirm if it is in fact locking the last dungeon of this region, because we are 22 out of 23, and I do not see another dungeon in this whole region that I have not completed yet. So yeah, I'm thinking that is here. I just can't remember, because it's this stronghold and the other one that I already did over here, I think, that were the first 2 that I did in the game, because they're obviously in the first region. So we will go and knock that out, and we will go from there. The other stronghold didn't really give me much trouble, or as much as I thought it would. It was more so the boss, like I said, I was worried about, and he wasn't too much of an issue. The poison stuff is a super big help, and I did just drop another point into my imbuement, which is good. But I do not recall what the boss up here is, so... Is this like the blood one? And with the church and shit? It might be. Oh yeah, this blood magus, maybe. So... we'll find out pretty quick. If it is, I think this is the one, this is the boss that has like 2 phases, or 2 forms, I guess. I guess it would be considered a phase as well, but he's got like another form. So we'll go around. And then for this, we have to find what they're connected to, such as this. And is there another one it's connected to? Because I can't do damage to it yet. So it's got to be connected to another one. Oh yeah, it's up here. Now I should be able to damage it. Alright, we're good. We can damage it now. So we're gonna have to do a couple more of these, and then we'll be able to do the actual boss. Good. Alright. On to the next one. Looks like there is 2 more. And then the boss is down there. Past this, obviously. Alright, take this guy out, and then I will go and find the other connections to this so that I can actually damage it. Actually, we'll take this guy out first, I guess. There we go. Make our way over here. Oh god. Oh god, I'm getting CC'd. No! Oh my god, I literally had no health. It was terrifying. I got CC'd and brought down to no health. Wiki. Okay, and then I think there's another one down here, but that might be for this one. So, oh no, the one for this is out here. Yeah, it's up top. Yeah, here it is. Looks like I got a few more things on the battle pass that I did not claim. Whoops. There we go. Alright, so now I should be able to do the middle one, I think. And then we have the one that's down here. Yep, cool. Then after we finish the one to the left, we are good to go on taking on the boss, and hopefully being able to do that without too much difficulty either. Should be dead. Good. Alright. Over to the side now. We can go and take this one out. Fuck this guy up real quick. There we go. And then there's one more somewhere around here. Up here, maybe? Yes. Can I? Oh, perfect. I was gonna say, hopefully I can just shadow step over there. Oh, well, there's one more. Okay. Oh yeah, it's up there. Can I shadow step up there? I cannot. That sucks. Okay, so I am gonna have to go around. Well. No big deal. Now we can take it out. Alright. Okay, and with that guy dead, we can now go and take on the boss. And finish the stronghold. Assuming we can kill him. I think we should be okay. Alright, let's go see what's up. I do know he like spawns guys to help him and shit. Which is not very nice, but they're getting nuked by my poison, which is nice. And I'm doing enough damage to him quick enough that I don't think him spawning guys is going to matter all that much. So I'm just going to keep DPSing him. One of these guys is a pain in the ass, I do recall. But I'm not sure it will matter long enough. If I just stay on him and keep slamming my heals. Yeah, especially if I get that off on him. Yeah, I didn't even consider if I got a stun lock off on him either. So that wasn't too bad at all. Perfect. We will come up here now and light this. Level up. Love that. Drop another point into my poison imbuement to get that maxed out. And there is no dungeon here. So I'm still missing a dungeon. And I don't know what dungeon it is. Because I do not see a dungeon that has a reward left to be gone from it. Yeah, I really don't know. I'm gonna be honest. I mean, I don't think it counts this one. I'm pretty sure it does not. So I actually don't know. Oh, is this it? No. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea. I'm not sure. See, now if I haven't done a dungeon before, right, it'll have this little, it'll have the little reward symbol here. Rewarded on first completion. And every dungeon gives you one of these. And as you can see, all the ones that are in this, like, region, this whole region, none of them have that. None of them have this, the little symbol. And this green symbol is just a seasonal thing, but if it did also have a reward for it, like the one I just showed up here, it would still list it. And none of them have that reward listed. So I actually don't have a friggin' clue what dungeon I'm... Oh, I'm an idiot. It's this. There's a whole nother stronghold. So this stronghold I know for a fact has a dungeon. Nostrava. So after you beat this dungeon, or after you beat this stronghold, a dungeon unlocks right here. Okay, so that's where it is. I didn't even realize there was another stronghold in this region. I'm such an idiot. Okay, well that makes sense. Crisis averted. We're good. I was super confused at first. I was like, is there like a quest dungeon that doesn't give you like an award or whatever? Oh, such a crappy amulet. But we can break it down from mats. The mats are super important early on, so not a huge deal. Plus, the amulet would have inevitably gotten replaced sooner rather than later. So yeah, all good. And so yeah, the stronghold is down here, Nostrava. And I do remember that boss fight is actually kind of annoying, or can be annoying. I don't know how it's going to be now, because, you know, versus the first time around that I did it, I have all the altars of Lilith now and more skill points under my belt and stuff like that, so probably won't be as bad as it was the first time around playing it on a completely fresh character, no altars or anything. Let me take a look at map stuff and then season stuff. Chapter 1 I have everything done. Chapter 2 I think I just needed to do a stronghold, and I did that today. And so all the stuff from chapter 2 is done. Purveyor buying, that I can do that at any time. Strongholds, I'm about to do another one, or next off, and then I'll have to do 2 more after that, which I inevitably will. Imprinting an aspect, obviously I can do that anytime and will. Upgrading potion, I have to be level 45. Upgrading items. Upgrading, I already said the upgrading potion. Using the Wrathful Malignant Invoker and a Malignant Tunnel after completing or skipping the campaign. Okay. I assume that means the seasonal campaign, maybe. I don't know. Because you can use Invoker, or maybe not, because you can use Invokers already. But the Wrathful, I think these are rare ones, so maybe that's why. Or rarer, and then Whisper stuff, obviously. Which I have to go out of my way for a little bit, but it's not that bad. Okay. Cool. Let's see here. Yeah, so I just have that next stronghold that I'll be doing, but I'm actually not going to do that now. I think I'm going to be calling it for the moment, because I'm going to be having some dinner here pretty soon. I may be back on stream later tonight, not sure. I'm going to be continuing to play Remnant with some friends. Remnant 2, definitely recommend it. Any of you guys that may still be here, even if you're just listening or whatever, definitely recommend checking out Remnant 2. It's in early access right now, so if you want to play it now, you do have to pay extra a little bit, but otherwise it comes out in a couple days. But yeah, awesome game, really enjoying it so far, even with my poopy graphics card holding FPS down a bunch. But yeah, I won't be streaming that because my PC can't handle it, unfortunately, till I get an upgrade one day. And then maybe, though, later I'll stream some more Diablo or something else. So yeah, for now, I appreciate everybody that is here, even if you haven't said anything. It means a lot. I appreciate all of those that were here and, of course, talked in the chat. Definitely helps make the stream incredibly better, if it isn't already obvious. And I guess that will be it for this one. So I appreciate y'all hanging out. I hope you all have a great rest of your day. And if I do happen to stream more later, I hope to see you guys there. Thanks for watching, everybody.